to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shea Lawrence from the Lawrences, and I upload every single Friday. In today's video, I'm going to take you along with me as I go through our morning routine. I had you guys request a video explaining how I come up with my daily routines, morning, nighttime, homeschool, and I put it off for the longest time, so I figured just pick up the camera and film a little vlog morning routine, and I will sit down and talk to you guys a little bit about how I created my morning routine and kind of explain why I do certain things. So I actually filmed this on Wednesday morning, and last night I watched a video from the Field of Boaz. Her YouTube channel is amazing. You should check it out if you are not already subscribed to her. But she talked about the difference of rhythm and schedules, and it got me reflecting on my own routine, and I tried to figure out if mine was a rhythm or a schedule, and I could not figure out which one it was. I feel like mine is really in between because I do have set times for certain things, but it's more of like a guideline. I'm not really strict on that time. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you can figure out if my routine is more of a schedule or a rhythm. I would love to know, because I did some reflecting on it and I really couldn't figure it out. But let's get on with my routine. So I set my alarm for 6:30 every morning. I actually think that I'm gonna start changing it to 6 a.m. just because I feel like I have a little bit of a lack of time before all the kids wake up. So I might change that to a half an hour earlier. But that is my time. I like to get my coffee, say my prayers, and read my Bible. Just spend that time with God. It helps get me in the right mindset for the rest of the day. And when I'm done with that, I will get dressed, do my skincare, my hair, my makeup, and lately I've been liking to just check my nails, see if my polish needs to be fixed, and then I will quickly wipe down the bathroom. This day I had to clean out my vacuum. If you guys watched my previous videos, I talked about this little thing that I have. I like to fully clean out my vacuum when it dies and then charge it, and I do not charge it until I clean it out. It's just my way of forcing myself to empty it and clean it out, give it a really good wipe down, or I wash it sometimes if I have extra time. So at this point, most days the kids are all starting to wake up by now, but this day I got really lucky. They slept in, so I was able to get breakfast ready and on the table before they even woke up. I've been trying to be conscious about using up some leftovers, so most days I will ask them what they want to eat for breakfast, but this day I had some leftover rice in the fridge, so I figured make some rice pudding for them all, and they absolutely loved it. I would love to know, do you guys ask your kids what they want to eat, or do you just go ahead and make something? I feel like I'm kind of in between. Some days I ask them, and some days I just go ahead and make it, depending if I have something in the fridge that needs to be cooked. I also like to start dinner at this point, whether that is just defrosting some meat that I need for dinner, or if it's a slow cooker recipe, I will throw whatever I need to in the slow cooker, and I will start any baking that needs to be done for the day. Alright, so here is where it really depends if the kids are awake. Like I said, this day they magically were all still asleep, so I was able to make my bed, and I actually decided to go ahead and wash my sheets halfway through making my bed, so you'll see me doing that here. But some days they are awake and it takes so long to get everybody breakfast and ready for the day that I don't even have time to make my bed. So just to keep that in mind, this is something I like to do, but it does not always get done. I prioritize my kids and school. So this is one of those things that if it does not get done, oh well, I am not gonna let it stress me out. Another thing that I like to do in the mornings, I didn't get to do this morning, is go out and water the plants. If the kids are awake, I can't really go out and go water the plants. I won't have time to, so I just wait until we go outside to play for the day. So when they are done eating, I will either just rinse and stack the dishes, or I will wash the dishes. It just depends how much time I have. So one of the timed things that I have is 9 a.m. We always start school at 9. The reason I had to do this is because my teenager is like, I call him the king procrastinator. So I went back and forth with this, with homeschooling him over the years. I tried having him pick a time to start. I tried letting him start wherever. And I notice if I set a certain time and I say, hey, we're starting school at 9, you need to be ready. So as soon as he comes over, I give him food and we start at 9. So whatever he wants to do or has to get done in the meantime, he has till 9 a.m. to do it. So that's why I had to start that. Otherwise, he would sit there and take forever to eat his breakfast and we wouldn't be starting school till 11 o'clock. And then all of a sudden it's lunchtime. So that is one of the things I had to set a time on. And then another thing I had to set a time on for the girls is playing outside. They would stay outside all day if they had the chance. So it's just impossible for me to be inside and homeschooling a high schooler and outside with them. So I had to split the times. We start school at 9. We have an hour to get as much bookwork as we can done before I have to take the girls outside. And then from there, we'll come back in. I'll come back in and check on him, figure out what he needs to do next, give him his next assignment, and then head back to the girls. So it's kind of a multitasking situation for me after 10, but It's what works for us and it's what gets it done, and it also gives the girls something to look forward to. If they're asking to go outside and we're working on school, I just tell them, wait till 10 o'clock, it's almost 10 o'clock. So it kind of teaches them patience too. That's why I had to schedule the 2 times. So before we start school, I like to clean up the kitchen, just do the dishes or rinse and stack them, and then I like to clean up the living room. So like I said, this day worked out really well. I actually got to get most of that done, but there are some days we are just finishing up breakfast and I have to leave the dishes because it's 9 o'clock. So it really depends on the day, how early they wake up, how busy it is. It is not always perfect, but like I said, I prioritize my kids and school. So some days we have pajama days because I don't have time to get them ready, but their education is important to me. So I make sure we start school at 9 o'clock. Sometimes it might be a little after 9 if we're running super behind, but that is what works for me. Another thing I found super helpful, because homeschooling 2 toddlers and a high schooler is not an easy task. It's such a big age gap, and I don't want to neglect the preschool to focus on high school, and I can't neglect the high school to focus on preschool. So one thing I started doing is I separate my high schoolers' work. So in the mornings, we all do the Pledge of Allegiance together, we all do Bible together. Then I start the girls on music class while I start my high schooler on geography. Then I start my girls on some sort of classwork, alphabet work, math, and I work with my high schooler on English. Then, while the girls are doing an art project, I work on science with my oldest. And then we do cooking class. He'll do that around lunchtime before I clean the kitchen for the day. And he's studying horticulture, so he'll do that while the girls play outside. And then at night, after bath time, me and him will work on health, and then we'll work on algebra. So that's what works for us. We started splitting the days. We do a bulk of his schoolwork in the morning, and then we do, I say the easy stuff because he is good at math and I am not. So I look at it and I'm like, that is not the easy stuff at night, but for him, that's the subjects that he chose to do at night. So that's the easy ones for him, I guess. So that's one thing that's worked for us, because before we were trying to get all of the school done in the morning and it was just chaotic. So this way we split it up. It's a little bit more relaxing and it kind of turns it into a family affair too. The kids are listening while we're studying health. My husband's here. So it just makes it a little bit more relaxing and fun. So in conclusion, creating your own routine, it does take time. What I like to do is find some routines that you can use as a guideline and then tweak it. So for example, I started this routine off of a 1950s housewife routine, and I, of course, had to add in homeschooling because we homeschool. And then you just follow that routine for a few days and see what works, what needs to be changed, and you can just modify it from there. You can even find there's tons of YouTubers with morning routines. You can use that as a guideline and then follow that and add in the things that you need to add in, take out the things that you need to take out. And that's basically how I create my routine. Let me know if you guys want to see a nighttime routine or anything like that. I will be happy to film that for you. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe if you have not already. I will see you guys next week, Friday.
Blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away.